came
I
back.
got something you might find interesting.
Well, I hope you're here to help. Are you ready for this fight?
Hey, Jace, we made sure that back door is staying open.
And the programs?
Bitch of a warden is forcing them to work. Most of them got away.
Most. And the others? God. You don't imagine it. You know the risks, the lives. But you can't believe you're really gonna lose anyone.
We do what we can, Jace. We lost some people out there today, but there are hundreds more depending on us.
Yeah. Of course. Thank you for what you're doing out there. For all those people. And for me.
Sure.
I'm gonna get back to it now. Let me know if you make any more progress.
Hey, did Fox tell you who his inside source might be? Now, I don't want to press him. I'm not even 100% that he has one. But if that source gets into trouble, he could need someone to help out.
He hasn't told me, and I doubt he would respond well to a man with a gun asking him the question.
Hey, you don't have to tell me, just as long as you know.
I don't know. And it's not like him to be quiet about anything. I mean, the things that guy told me about his ex-wife, it was like listening to a guy describe a squid eating a chocolate birthday cake. Nobody needs to hear that.
So if he is keeping this secret, it must be pretty big.
Must be.
Hey, I've been hearing about that World 2.0 stuff. And maybe the world needs a software patch, but a utopia? Really?
People out there in the rest of the world, they think the Earth's dying. They have this belief in scarcity. They think that we'll run out of energy, out of space, or out of water, or anything. And that makes every day a crisis.
And World 2.0 would fix that crisis?
It was more about fixing that mentality. I wanted to show the rest of the world that with innovation, with creativity, and with a little courage, it's easy to see the universe is abundant.
And how about now?
It's still an abundant universe. That hasn't changed. Just, I thought I could keep out jealous people and the cowards.
No getting away from them.
No. I'm probably not as brave as I want to be either.
How did you buy Aroa in the first place?
I didn't buy it. I leased it. Aroa is technically part of New Zealand, but the U.S. had leased it for years.
Yeah. That's why there's the old naval station. But wouldn't it have been easier to rent a chunk of California or something? I'm sure there's a big stretch of Mojave that nobody wants.
Yeah. The abandoned naval station here piqued our interest initially, hoping we could piggyback on the Cold War infrastructure. That was a wash. But once we had visited Aroa, its biodiversity won us over. Good Hope Mountain has ice, Infinity is surrounded by fields, and the swamps of Finn Bog sport as harsh a conditions as any good drone tester could wish for. We fell in love with the place. I bought the lease from the U.S. government.
And now these are your islands. No government but Skeltech.
Well, avoiding government regulation was a factor.
Oh, I'll bet it was. Sometimes it seems like Harmony's the only Skeltech kid in Aroa.
I don't know. We invited more people to Aroa who had children, but most of them turned us down. It was kind of great having Harmony around.
Well, I'm glad it worked out the way it did. There ain't so many kids out in Aroa for me to worry about.
Believe me, worrying about Harmony is enough.
You two seem to get along.
Yeah? She treats me like another kid. She's smart, but having her around helps me see things with new eyes.
But aside from her dad, she has no one else here?
No, Just me.
So, what does a billionaire arms dealer do? You know, whenever he's not manufacturing killing machines.
Skeltech is responsible for an extensive catalog of inventions over the past decades.
I'm listening.
Our first economically viable autonomous machine was the Skell Farmer, a harvester capable of recognizing the range and ripeness of crops. Since then, it's found unintended utility in mining and forestry.
So explain to me how you got here. From farming drones to war machines.
Our next invention, the Skell Transporter, was the first affordable smart delivery device, a new standard in the industry. The Skell Doctor may interest you, an advanced cousin specialized to carry sensitive medical supplies. You could easily shoot one out of the sky to steal its payload.
Could be useful.
Our Cherubim City and Sky models behave like mobile CCTVs, capable of facial and behavioral identification, and alert authorities in real time. I suggest you steer clear of them if you want to move undetected.
I'll keep that in mind.
My point is that I have dedicated my life to improving the human condition and relieving the population from the crushing weight of repetitive work.
Well, let's see if we can make sure your legacy's intact at the end of this. Explain something to me, this Titan program. Why in the hell would you think it was a good idea to build giant killing machines? Aren't lethal drones enough?
I recognize that smaller drones are already deadly and far more cost-efficient, but I was influenced.
Walker.
He was always complaining that the existing drones didn't have enough media presence. These days, wars are fought on television screens. He wanted Titans that could exude charisma and raise hope and simultaneously suffocate the spirit of a nation.
Sounds charming.
I find that once I'm given a task, my inspiration is fueled by the vacuum. I knew that what Walker wanted was entirely unnecessary for counterterrorism, but I got carried away. Now I shudder to imagine what he intended the whole time.
You're not the only one. Stay out of trouble.
Focus is my forte.
Did you hear? Ballard has a cure.
At this point, I won't believe anything until I see it with my own eyes.
Fine, but allow yourself a little relief. Right, soon it'll be time to think about the future. And we're gonna need you.
We have a situation, Nomad. Sentinel put up roadblocks around their area of operations. We've got friendlies stuck on the other side.
All right. Keeping separated might keep your people safe.
I've seen this before. You squeeze people till they're so desperate they do something stupid. Then you have every excuse to wipe them out.
Yeah. With Sentinel, it's best to expect the worst.
I have a feeling in my gut that this is the beginning of something that could end everything I care for.
For what it's worth, I have great respect for your gut.
The farmers caught out there. They have medicine, insulin that some folks out here depend on to stay above ground.
So it's not just people. We need to get supplies into.
Before the radio cut, the driver, Kyle, Maria's brother, was talking about trying to run the blockade. Boy's just a farmer.
I'll take care of it, Mats.
The future. We all need to decide. Sentinel attacked us.
I just came from an abandoned mining town.
Oh, yeah. Around 1870, explorers from New Zealand found a gold vein inside the mountains, and Aroa had a little gold rush.
Let me guess. Nothing left?
That mine barely lasted 50 years.
Why didn't any of you take over the town?
Some of the younger guys like poking around there. You can always find something. But those buildings are all rotted through. No one in his right mind would live there.
I'll talk to you later.
See ya.
I'm glad we agree. Now we start convincing the others.
You think this was how things were gonna go when Sentinel came in? You ever see this coming?
I'll see you around.
You be safe out there.
Yes, ma'am.
I should have whatever you need. And maybe a few things you didn't know you needed.
We surrender! Don't shoot!
I'm not with Sentinel. Mad sent me.
Oh, thank God. You scared the shit out of me.
This guy's scaring me enough as it is.
Be rational? Sounds like a fancy way to say give up.
You won't be helping anyone if you're full of bullets.
I'll make it through.
Fellas, what's the situation?
Kyle wants to run the blockade. Because apparently he's desperate for a closed-casket funeral.
My wife Layla needs this insulin, and she's not the only one. They'll die without it.
I can get you through. You ready to go home? Mount up.
I gotta say, I'm glad you came along when you did. We were at the end of our rope.
You just keep your head down if trouble comes, got it?
You're military, right?
Well, I'm trained to handle things like this, if that's what you mean.
Right. But what are you doing here? On our island?
Well, the original plan got shot out of the sky. Now, I'm trying to figure it all out.
Not much of an answer, but you can keep your own counsel. That's fine by me.
Hey, it's a little early to start insulting me, all right?
Maybe you remind me of him because you both served. Hard for me to relate to that type of life, but here you are, saving my ass, saving my wife, so...
I just do what needs to be done.
It's getting worse. Sentinel is all over us. Ever since Captain Coleman took over this area. I can feel a bad wind in the air, like everyone's waiting for an excuse to start shooting. Damn, another one!
Hope the sun's shy, but pack an umbrella.
The way things are looking, might need to pack a goddamn huge umbrella.
Not wrong there.
Third? What is with these people?
Sentinel isn't messing around. This is worse than I thought.
Another blockade ahead? Are there supposed to be this many?
Yeah, I bet you and Mason drive moonshine. This is the last one. We're almost out of this.
Here. I could kiss you for bringing us back safe.
Really not necessary.
You're back?
Where are you going with all that?
To find you two idiots. What do you think?
You were gonna go clear the roadblocks on your own?
I was gonna do whatever it takes.
I swear, you two are gonna put me in an early grave.
Who's this tall drink of trouble?
This is Nomad. He helped us get home.
Thanks for getting them back. I don't know what I'd do without these boys.
Or what you and your dad would do without this insulin.
You thought about making the move to Air One?
I've been on this land since my first breath. I don't walk so easy.
I can respect that. But Mads thinks this is just the beginning. And those roadblocks, they weren't built to keep people out. They were built to keep people in.
What does that mean?
It means you should be prepared.
For what?
Prepared to decide if this homestead is worth your lives.
Something's weird.
Laying down some fire.
Way to get it done! We're compromised. There's nobody here.
Eyes on enemy! Is that all you got? How you like
Incoming grenade!
Get the fire tower going, fix it.
Hit the hostile!
We got a hostile position there.
Keep tight. Positions.
Letting her rip!
Take it down! Let's go!
Take the ride. I'll find my own.
What are you supposed to be, the Brute Squad?
You must have seen my profile on a dating app.
That must be it. Turn-ons were long walks on the beach and political assassinations, right?
I'm trying to get in touch with the leader of the outcasts.
Good for you.
Sentinel's officially coming after the outcasts. I just figured he'd appreciate knowing about it.
She knows. But I bet that felt good to get off your chest. Name's Haruhi Ito.
So how'd you and your people come to be out here?
We were all proud employees of Skeltech. Till we had a falling out.
Somebody's feelings get hurt?
We found out about Project Deus and couldn't bear the thought of contributing to something that monstrous.
Why not leave?
That was what usually happened to people who disagreed with Skel. But we knew if we left, there'd be no one to stand in Skel's way, and Project Deus would be free to continue. But when we started causing problems for Skel, he hired Sentinel. We were lucky to make it out of the cities alive. That's why they call us the Outcasts. But we're here now, and we're gonna fight.
You're a bunch of engineers. How do you expect to hold up against a trained force?
It ain't easy. Especially since Sentinel instituted martial law. But we're tougher than we look, and there's nobody else. Look, Brute Squad, if you want to help out in the fight, you're more than welcome. But where the Outcasts are concerned, I run the show.
Listen, I've got my own people to worry about for now. But seeing as our interests seem to align, I'll check in and lend a hand when I can.
You like music, Nomad?
Sure, I guess. I mean, who doesn't?
Did you know we have a famous musician right here on the island?
Wait, really? I mean, who's not famous on this island?
Good point. His name is Jesus Morrison. For the last few years, he's been covertly working with us, encoding enemy intel in his songs.
That sounds like a dangerous assignment.
I'd appreciate you paying him a visit. He's been under some unwelcome scrutiny.
Duly noted.
Brute Squad. Did you mean what you said about needing friends?
I did.
We just got intel about a new shipment of weapons at some base in Oroa. The weapons are being sent to Liberty by boat.
Hey, you want me to hijack it and bring it back for your people? You should have quit while you were ahead.
Hey, we aren't the real enemy. Right now, the enemy isn't even Project Deus. Sentinel is coming for all of us. We need weapons.
Every legitimate revolution had to start somewhere. But arming concerned citizens is a long way from a real liberation army.
We're in it now. Knowing what we do, there's no turning away. Those weapons are the only chance we've got at getting supplies and defending ourselves.
What else do you know about the shipment?
Not much. It's being loaded onto a boat and it's headed to Liberty. There's not much to go on, but it's all our contact could get.
That's plenty. I can go find myself a Sentinel soldier for anything else. I'll grab the boat and meet you with the shipment.
Hey, Nomad, what do you know about data security?
A little. Why?
One of Sentinel's sector bosses, Mark Meridian, has gotten a hold of a Skell algorithm that analyzes phone, email, and social media patterns.
There's probably a lot of sensitive data in that mess.
Yes. The algorithm takes advantage of online vulnerabilities. Once verified, it can be uploaded to the cloud where everybody in Sentinel can access it. With the data, Meridian can target outcast agents and their families.
So where do I fit into all of this?
Later today, Meridian and his 3 lieutenants are meeting to verify their intel and start the algorithm protocols. I'm hoping you can stop them.
Listen, I'm not your private assassin.
I know. But listen, Meridian and his men are heartless. With this info, not only are the outcasts in grave danger, but so are their loved ones.
Okay. Okay, I'll see what I can do. Where should I start looking?
One of his goons, Sullivan Blake, was last seen on the eastern side of the Good Hope Mountain province. It's north of the God-forsaken Highland. Red Weasel Outpost is around there. After you track him down, he should lead you to the others.
Got it. Can you tell me why Sentinel's got a prison set up in the survival shelter complex?
Nope, never been. Never planned to either, but I've heard about it. Given Skell's vision, it doesn't seem too far-fetched. An illegal prison in a remote fortress, on top of a mountain, surrounded by ice and snow where no one in their right mind would go looking? No offense.
None taken. But the size of the place, it's insane. Looked like you could fit a row's whole population in there.
I can't see a scenario where Sentinel would use all the space, but clearly they were thinking big, which gives one pause.
Well, I retired Herzog, who was running the place, but I'm sure that's not gonna do anyone any good. We'll just have to see. Any advice for fighting in World 2.0?
The name of the game is take out their drones faster than they can launch them. It's a bitch, but that's why we always carry jammers that'll shut off any live drone or vehicle happening by. At least for a while. Another option would be to make your peace with the devil and use sync-shot drones to take out specific targets.
Sync-shot drones?
They only target humans, though. They can't target drones. There's also a variation on the Legion drone, the ones in the drone swarm. They're like little flying guns that basically take aim in any direction and wait for a signal to execute their target.
Got any lying around?
No can do. We mostly leave those things alone. Kind of goes against what we're trying to be.
Sounds like just another weapon to me.
If you're inclined, you can get them hot out of the oven from Skell Tech labs or assembly lines. Hell, even some startups might have them. And come to think of it, the Omega Center ought to have plenty.
See you later, Haruhi.
Not if I see you first, Brute Squad.
If there's even a chance to get Sentinel off this island, everything is worth it.
Do you ever think you'd be fighting in a guerrilla war?
That's for sure. Would you have thought back at Skell orientation? We'd end up here. I just wanted dry roots and a dry air.
Farmer to freedom. You ever think we'd end up here?
You go. I'll catch up.
intel here.